Hey guys, still here. Welcome back to Transport Fever. We're playing on the British/Irish Isles map, and in case you're wondering, this is not some sort of special seeded map that I got. It's a modded map, and you can find that in the description down below. Now, we are working on the southwest/southeast end of the island here, and so far we have a lot of passengers waiting to go from one station to the next. Income over the past few years has been decent. We're making about $830,000 a year, give or take. And what I would like to do this episode is try to connect this oil well over here to this refinery over here, and then see if we can ship that to Bristol. And from Bristol we can potentially turn this into an industrial area. So more of a town that's going to get more passengers. Now, one of you guys mentioned that if I want to make sure that there are not too many passengers waiting at a station like that, I need to add buses or additional transport routes. The thing is, I don't really want to do that, because the buses are generally not as profitable as the trains. And the moment that there is a bus, they're all going to be taking that bus instead of the faster and more, at least for me, lucrative train. So I want to make sure that these guys do not have a choice in the matter. They can take the bus or the tram, whichever they have in their particular town, to the train station and then go by train. That's all the flavors of transport that I'm offering. Now, yes, we still have a notification popping up here. London, South London is giving me issues. 29% over length. It has to do with the bridge. This awfully crowded bridge, by the way. And this is probably also going to be a problem for my transport units, because the trams tend to get stuck in traffic. And yes, this is a small bridge. I mean, this is the main connection between the north of London and the south of London, and this is causing all sorts of bottleneck issues. I could add up another bridge over here and connect the two like that, but that is going to make it quite expensive. I mean, bridges in this game are not cheap, and I'm not really gaining anything from it. I'm not really going to be making more money because I'm building a bridge. No, I'm going to be making more money if I get, for example, another train going, because this train route, the Central Line, that's making me quite a decent portion of money. And we have that secondary line from London to Bristol. It's operating this way. And by the way, yes, I'll try to keep Bristol and Birmingham separate from now on, in the sense that I'll try to figure out which is which and say the appropriate name. Anyway, this one is doing alright. For the moment it has 36 out of 55 on board. We have another 50 waiting, potentially 55 by the time that the train gets there. So I'm not too worried about this train line, and it's a nice, faster alternative between Bristol and London. So, let's see if I can start shipping this stuff to Bristol. I'm hoping that I can convince the game to allow me to use a line over here that is immediately connected to this refinery. To this oil well. If not, it's going to... Yeah, I was worried about that. See, I could put it down here, and the ships would have to go around. That's not ideal, because it's going to be more expensive. Alright, a freight terminal. It's outside of navigatable waters. I hope this is close enough, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's not. Also, it's rather expensive. Yes, it covers it. Perfect. Plymouth West. And we're going to connect that up to this refinery, which again is going to be an interesting situation to see if it actually wants to link up. If not, we're going to have to try and pull something. Oh, come on. What do you mean outside of navigatable waters? Oh, really? Alright, I hope it's gonna connect. Too much slope. Oh, really? It doesn't connect. Swansea South is not connecting. I could use the landscaper tool, but for some reason the game never allows you to actually modify the shoreline, which is rather annoying, because without that shoreline modifier I cannot actually push the shoreline back and make sure that this thing actually gets connected. I can try to relocate it a little bit. See, I'm not sure how much leeway I have with this particular refinery. Come on. Still colliding. Okay, a little bit longer. Better. I think it's just too far away. This is the closest I can get it. Yes, now it got it. Perfect. Okay, good. So now we can locate, or now we can set up a route here. It's going to be from there to there. And I know I could do this by train, but I want to use ships. Ships can generally transport a lot of stuff, making them actually quite capable of being profitable. Alright, so the ships that we can get, by the way, we can get the RMS Lusitania, which is ginormous, 550 capacity. That's way more than I'm going to need. For freight, we have the Vandal, and the beauty of this thing is that it can transport 150 capacity or 150 barrels of crude oil, and then fuel. So I can send one of these ships to pick up the crude from over here, transport it there into fuel, and then we're going to have to drop it off either on this shore or that shore. Let's see, I think east is bigger than west. Yeah, not by too much, but east has its own train connection. So I'm going to be setting up another docks over here. Let's see, is that still navigatable? Yep, should be. Okay, like that. And then we add a road connect. Holy shit, that's expensive. Is there no way to make that cheaper? Yeah, I'm sure as hell not building a tunnel. Not if I don't have to. But this terrain is so much lower than the rest of it. That's causing the problem. Let's see what happens if I add a freight dock. That's gonna get expensive. 500k for a freight dock. 300k, 290. That's a little better. 221. Okay, I'll take 210. And then we're gonna wrap this thing up. And now we can connect it. Okay. So where is the industrial area here in Bristol? Where do we need to ship that stuff? I'd say here. This is mostly industrial. We have some industry over there, but we don't have a stop there. Alright, so let's add a stop. And then the route that's going to be connecting it is going to go from here to there and potentially there if it has an overcapacity. So this is Bristol fuel. And the shipping lane, line 1, is going to go from Swansea to there. And this is Bristol, let's call it the fuel ship. Okay, we have 930k. That should be more than enough for a ship. Well, it's not too much more. I mean, it's alright, but eh. Alright, off you go. Now, these things are by no stretch of the imagination fast. But they are cheap. They only cost me 131k per year. That's all. Their speed, 25 kilometers per hour. Okay, now to make sure that we actually have trucks picking up the cargo from over there. Couple of road vehicles, I'll take a couple of these Benzes. And you're going to be on the Bristol fuel line. At this point I'm negative, so I'm gonna have to watch my cash a little bit. Spent 1.1. And yeah, construction costs, that really got to me. Alright, let's see if this thing is in use. Yes, it's in use. And we already have the first barrels of raw oil, or sorry, crude oil being delivered to Plymouth West. Initially, I don't think that this ship is going to be transporting a full haul. Not likely. Now I can also have this one resupply Bristol West, or West Bristol. I'm still worried about that bridge though. Look at that. I can try to upgrade it to a large country lane, a large country road. Yeah, not really. I'm not going to touch that. Look at this. The people are waiting here, and the tram can... well, the tram can go north, or west rather. But back is a whole different issue. This is only pretty much the start of the game. It's only 1927. Which means that these towns are probably going to get a lot bigger. Alright, 21 units of oil here. This thing is lining up with the dock. We have 24. It's probably going to load that, yeah, instantly. Loading speed 120 times. Okay, so that's going to take a while. I don't think that we're going to turn a profit this year, not with everything that I spent. We still have a massive amount of passengers wanting to go to Canterbury. East Bristol. Yeah, look at that. The Bristol Loop is the one that goes through both towns. Or both sides of the same town, if you want to be exact. And that is really starting to get bottlenecked by that bridge. Doesn't always seem to be as bad. And for some reason they're all trying to flow east. That's something I cannot quite figure out, but sure. They're all trying to flow east. Alright, here's my ship. Initially it's going to go here and not really have any fuel to pick up. So I'm going to have to manually send it back to this particular station here, Plymouth West, to pick up a new haul, as this refinery turns this crude stuff into actual fuel. And until it does so, there's no real reason to make the trip from there to there. And you could argue that maybe it would be more efficient to take the trucks and go all the way from there to there. I'm not sure. I like the way that it is now. Let's see if there are any other shipping routes that we might be able to use. I can start shipping coal from here to there. There's already a road connection. I just need to send some trucks down that way. I still need to add iron to that. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to get steel. Now, where are the iron mines? Let's see about that. Products. We have one in Edinburgh. That's a bit too far north. Norwich. It's a bit too far east. Sligo. That's not exactly viable either. Wick. No thanks. That's all the options I have. Okay, so this steel mill, not going to get used anytime soon. The only one that I might consider is to start shipping it from... where was it? Here? I was going to say through ship, but that's not even going to be possible. And I have to ship it by truck, say from there to here, and then with a ship all the way over there. That could work. Let's pay off a bit of the loan. That could work. Alright, what have you made so far? 68k. Not too bad. I think that East Bristol can actually manage a whole lot of fuel. 254. And if I put another ship on this line... go back, sunshine. Swansea South. No. I want you to head back to Plymouth West. If I put another ship on this line, I might be able to crank up production enough to also provide West Bristol. Profit 201k, 436, 441. It's not as much as we had last year. I'm going to attribute that partly to this new ship. And there are also going to be one of those, the truck line that I set up. The Bristol Fuel is not actually making me any money. The trams are all generally negative, albeit very, very little. 31, 34. 34 actually is a bit more than I was hoping for. See, the problem is not that the trams are not running full, but that they're getting stuck. Stuck in traffic. Yeah, profit total 776. That's decent. And I'm paying how much in interest? 158. Okay. Again, it's the age-old question of do I get a... or do I prioritize paying off my loan, my debt, or am I going to prioritize getting more vehicles? Because they're going to make me more money instead of... or which will allow me to carry the burden of the loan. These things are still very nice money makers. About 400k a year. Look at that. This thing got emptied out here. There's 190 people waiting there. 126. Yeah, we're definitely going to add more trains here. A train for this particular route, or rather this particular type that I'm using right now, is going to cost me 3.39 million. Rather expensive, but I think that it makes that in about 6 to 7 years. These things have a lifetime of about 30. If I'm not mistaken. I'm using... it's not the Flying Scotsman, is it? No, it's not. I think it's the PLM 220. Lifetime, 35 years even. So with a lifespan of 35 years, I don't need to worry about replacing these things anytime soon. What is my oldest vehicle, though? A couple of trams are going to have to get replaced. 28 years. These trams are... starting to age. Let's see what their expected lifespan is. It's the blue one. Lifespan 30 years. So we're going to have to upgrade or replace most, if not all, of the trams rather soon. I can upgrade it from the CE2/2 to the Type T1. Boosting passengers by 5 and speed by 50%. I like that. Alright, let's start allowing these things replacements. I want you to upgrade to the Type T1 at 100% lifespan. Prioritizing the ones that are oldest. Bristol, South London. Sorry, let's, yeah, this one. London tram. There we go. Bristol loop counterclockwise, 28 years again. That's how long I've been playing the game, okay. Canterbury's looking alright so far. I still have a couple of years left. Alright, December's coming up, or actually January's coming up, so let's pay off as much of the debt as possible. Come on, one more train. No. Profit last year was only 291, which is far less than I had expected. Look at that, 114. Now we're getting somewhere. And sure, this thing does not make a lot of trips per year. I'd be lucky if it can get one full round trip. I wonder how much it's going to give me this time around. You can see we have just 12 units of fuel waiting there. Holy dude, you're clipping the shore. Alright, coming into dock. 332k. Sorry, 323. Yeah. Now with an operational cost of 132k per year, this is a decent profit. Especially considering the fact that this one is now going to have a lot of required material, and we're going to actually start to kick up this fuel production. This one is not really going to make me that much, because it's only running with 13 out of 150 capacity. Now this is the only new project that I've had. Let's see, are we going to see some fuel here? Oh, actually, never mind. This is the first bit of fuel that he's actually delivering. It would be ideal if I could turn this thing around. And there is a mod that allows you to do that, but since the game does not allow you to add mods after you've started it, it's going to be impossible to make sure that this ship offloads its stuff on the other side. Because you can dictate where this crane's going to be, and if you put it over there, the ship, look at that turning radius though. The ship is going to be capable of docking a little faster. Alright, income 418k. September. Are we starting to replace vehicles yet? No, we're going to be doing that next year though. Where is my profit going? Potentially because these trains are starting to get a little older. They're starting to get more running costs. They're looking at 20 years already. What's their speed again? 60, I think? Yeah, 60. We have some new tech. We have the first electric engine. These things are coming in at 5 million a pop. So that's rather expensive. But their speed is far, far better. And the one that I have has a tractive effort of only 75. This one has a tractive effort of 196, so it could transport far more carriages. Meaning that with all that capacity, we're going to be able to transport a lot more passengers and potentially make it profitable. But again, I don't really have 5 million. And that's just the engine. Anyway, the ship right now is classed as profitable. The trucks are not profitable just yet. But I think they're they're still trying to bring their stuff to Bristol. Dropping it off. Yeah, they're dropping it off in small portions. A little bit goes over there and the rest of it goes over there. And how much are they delivering? 2. Perfect. Good start. Over here we have a 91, 92, 93 portions of fuel ready. That is going to be a nice profit. Of course it always takes these things quite a bit of time to actually load up. These loading docks, I mean, before they're going to be profitable. So this is all perfectly normal. I'm still pretty damn negative this year. Why is that? Because the trains are doing alright. Ah, we're starting to replace vehicles. We spent 500,000 on new trams, assumedly. Yep, that's it. And we're not even done yet. We still have to replace a whole bunch of these. So that's going to have to happen. I don't want people to be running around with trams which are that old, because the running costs are also going to go up pretty fast. This thing's almost full. It's going to carry 2/3 of its haul back to East Bristol. East Bristol West. Yeah. The game and its naming conventions. Spent 774, that's another tram replaced. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vehicles still need to be replaced. And the real kicker is going to come in about 10 years, when we need to start replacing the trains on the central line. That's going to be the real expensive operation. Now, what other projects could I look at for the future? I'm considering this farm to food production and then back. This means that it can almost run full the entire time, providing London over here with additional food. And as it's going to get more food, it's going to get more shopping facilities, which could be a nice boost to the amount of passengers that are being transported here. Look at that, 1,337 plus another 1,100. This is starting to look like a really big town. Also, for now this thing can still service the southern edge of town, just with people walking into the station. I'm not sure if that's going to be happening the whole time though. We may eventually need to set up another transport route to pick up passengers from the south side of South London. As confusing as that might sound. Okay, so we had a loss of 412k last year, mostly because I spent quite a bit on new vehicles. Ah, the ship's about to arrive. That's going to be another 350k, I think, ish. 405. Very nice. See, these things can definitely make a profit, although last year it didn't do shit because it was on its way back. It takes it a year to make that trip. Oh well. Alright, minus 210. We spent another bit on new vehicles. New trams, we still need to replace 5 more. And the next is going to be the Canterbury tram in Southampton. Right, so let's set these things up for automatic replacements. Type 2 1, sorry, the Type T 1, yes, both are set up. And after that we're probably going to have to start saving for replacing the trains on the central line. Right now, how much is the value of these things? Train 1? Value, a little under $1 million. That's going to go down even further. Alright, let's see how much this ship brings in after it's deployed all of its fuel here. $117k. Boom. Okay. So this ship in this year made about $500,000. Minus running costs, of course. So overall, shipping the goods over there is profitable. Shipping that fuel and that oil. Alright, I think the game just spent a bit more on replacing a vehicle. Yep, still 4 more. And we have another potentially 300 to 400k train coming in. Yep. Oh, that's not as much as I was expecting, really. I wonder why these trains are not getting completely offloaded. It's like the passengers are almost getting on here, going there, and then deciding, nope, I don't want to go to Canterbury, I want to go to Southampton, for example. Which is unusual. Because most of the time, you'd say, I want to wait on the other side of the station and make sure I'm on my way to the right town. The train's still... well, they're making not as much as I was hoping. 539k, 474. Could be that we're looking at a worse quarter because these guys are simply not arriving at their endpoints yet. 774 on vehicles. 3 trams still need replacing. Yeah, with another bunch coming up soon. Alright, so now at least this fuel line to Bristol should be getting profitable. I could have put it a little bit closer, but not by much. Oh well. This thing's probably gonna cost me, yeah. This thing never made a profit. This is the first time that this truck is actually turning a profit. If that. Yeah, there we go. And even then it's debatable. Look at that. Holy shit, there's a lot of fuel waiting there. Yeah, I'm going to get a bit more of a loan. And buy another ship. And set you up on the fuel line as well. This way, we should have a lot more fuel pumping into Bristol. Yeah, they're still minus 20, 24. Not surprising. Most of the time these things don't have anything to transport. That's the problem. At least we should be getting a decent full haul on these ships. Yeah, 127. They're not quite conversing this thing one-on-one. It's not doing that well. Which is unusual, because it says 1 barrel of crude is going to get me 1 point of fuel. Or at least you'd think so. Although it might also be turning it into oil. Now, oil is not something that from over here I can use directly in another facility. Because I can turn it into plastic. That's on the other side of the country, the chemical plant. Can I ship it anywhere else? It's the Canterbury plant, Edinburgh, Sligo, and Southampton. Oh, Southampton is an option. So then we can transport the crude oil, sorry, the oil from over there to there. That can go by truck. Then we have plastics. With plastics, we can make goods if I can add wood. Wood we have. Now I need somewhere to turn that into planks. These things are all terribly spread out. Yeah, there. Industry. Okay, so we have the cork sawmill. That's way too far away for the area where I'm operating. That's too far away. That's too far. So we only have Southampton and York. Where are the sawmills? Nope, nope, nope. And that could work. So I need to ship it there from over there. Birmingham, Cork, Norwich, Sligo, West Bristol. Alright, so what's that going to look like exactly? We'd ship it from here to there, then take the planks back to this facility, ship the oil from here to there, then ship the plastic from there to there, and then from over here we're going to get the goods to, for example, London. Yeah, that's going to get really expensive for an investment. It's not impossible. I think it can be done, but not at this phase of the game. It's simply too far off for the moment. Alright, ship's about to deploy a whole bunch more fuel here. Is the Bristol fuel line positive yet? Yes, now it is. It's still rated as poor because we're not bringing in enough fuel, but that's about to change. And this is a good sign. We're getting more fuel in storage than the trucks are currently capable of shipping. So I might be able to add a few more trucks later on. Ship docks, 156, throws it down there, 152 waiting. That's good. Alright, vehicle replacements. We still need to replace one more tram on the Southampton line, and that should do with all of the replacements. That should be it. Are the trains picking up again? Yep, 821, that's better. 630. Alright. With another one reaching the end line. 197. Now let's see if this thing actually drops off all the passengers. Not quite. I think it threw out about 40. That would match up with the amount of persons or amount of people that are waiting there. We get him? Yep, it's been replaced. Perfect. So now we can focus on getting more money into the bank. And potentially replacing these things. Now, if I want to replace these trains with the electric trains, I'm going to have to first upgrade all of the stuff, all of the railroads that I have, because they're not electrified. Especially if I want to have one of these. The AE47. See, the Croc also has a lot of power. This thing's even better. Running costs almost $1 million a year. Well, I'm gonna have to electrify these routes sooner or later, because the alternative is the Flying Scotsman. Top speed 120. Do we have anything that can go 120? No, we can't. We have something that can go 100 at 670k a pop. What I'm using now probably is the 3-axle. The compartments. What am I using? I think the compartments. Yep, the compartments cars. Yeah, that makes sense because they don't need to be any faster than 60 kph. That's the maximum speed that the train can go. So the carriages don't need to go that fast. Okay, so that's fine. See, the potential for passenger transport is there. Oh, nice. A whole bunch of new vehicles. The potential for transport is there. It's just going to be the problem of getting them from one side to the next. I just need more more trains. Alright, how many ships? This is ship 2. Made a profit. So, does that mean that this ship line is... 374. Decent. There's not nearly as much waiting here as I hoped there would be. Potentially because this thing is starting to bottleneck. 167 units of fuel. It's still doing pretty poor. Because these trucks cannot move it away from the dock soon enough. Okay, so we're gonna have to fix that first. You two on the fuel line. Okay. Right, well I think that would make a good end for this episode. Short summary, we have connected these new lines, we have these shippings, these docks here. The ships are operating at decent capacity, making a profit, albeit that they have not earned themselves back by any margin. That's still going to be a long way off. We're shipping more fuel to Bristol, and we have replaced quite a few of our old trams. Next episode, I hope to be getting either a new train or replacing all of the trains, which is going to get expensive. That is for damn sure. So I might have to go back to the bank and start getting a bigger loan. Ideally, I would want... Oh, this is even more powerful. Actually, it's not. Ideally, I would want the AE4/7. I can do that by loaning up to, I think, 30 million. Electrifying all my routes. And then making sure that I have a couple of these operating. They're going to be way faster, meaning they're bringing in more money because people are going to be getting to their destination about 1.5 times faster than they were used to. That could replace all the trains, and the trains are up for being replaced in 5 years anyway. At least these two lines, train 1, train 2 and train 4. I'm not exactly sure whatever happened to train number 3, but that thing must have disappeared into thin air somewhere. Alright, but that's stuff for next episode. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon for the next one.